He may never see this video or hear these words, but hey, just in case, if someone knows Jim Caviezel and can share this with him, and you by chance see this, sir, I just want to tell you, job well done. If you never do another movie, you've done more than enough with The Sound of Freedom. If you have not seen this movie, and if I have any influence at all, especially to those who support our ministry, I want to invite you, encourage you, go see The Sound of Freedom. I believe it will awaken you like it awakened me, even in a greater way, because we've already been reaching out for 2 years, a little over 2 years now, to help rescue and renew children out of sex trafficking. This movie, it will make you mad, it'll give you hope, and it will show you the difference one person can make when they decide to. When we decide to make a difference, we can do some amazing things. You know, I did not know this until this movie, but sex slaves among children in the United States has now surpassed African slaves when it was legal in the United States. That's a sobering thought. And because somebody decided to make a difference, such as Abraham Lincoln and some others who joined together, they made a difference that set the captive free. We are facing an even greater slave ship, if you can believe that, with sex trafficking. These are innocent children. Some have been kidnapped, others sold. It is horrific, the darkness. When I first started in ministry, I had one prayer. This was the prayer I had. I said, Lord, I want our ministry to go to the deepest, darkest place and minister your life, your love, and your light to people. So when I released the book, Shut the Hell Up, in 2010, and that book has now touched more than 100,000 people, a lot of people in prisons. Prisons began to open up to me in 2012. We still ship books into prisons. We just ordered another 2,500 copies that we'll be sending to people in prisons. I thought prison was the deepest darkness there is until I met a couple. This precious couple goes into the deepest darkness in Alabama, and they rescue girls, boys. They help whoever needs help and whoever wants help. Well, that opened the other doors into Nevada, South Carolina. Of course, many of you know the work we have in India. There's a very special girl, and I had forgot about this girl until recently. I saw a video of my mom and dad on TBN. Matt and Lori Crouch had my dad and mom just a few years ago, right before my mom passed. They had them on TBN, and my mom shared a story about a girl that we helped in India. And instead of me sharing this with you, only the way my mom could share it, I want you to hear this beautiful story of what can happen when one person decides to make a difference.
I have to tell you about one little girl too. Her mother left her at the train station. She's probably 3 years old, probably. Left her there for about 3 days. Never moved. Didn't use the bathroom there. Didn't eat. So our people called us and said, do you want us to take her in?
Yeah.
We said, yes, of course. And they named her Esther. From the pit to the palace.
Yeah.
And when Laverne went back a few years later, she was 16 years old, and she was leading praise and worship.
That's what can happen when one person decides to make a difference. I want to ask you a question. What is that worth to you? That is one girl out of now more than 20,000 we've helped since 1986 in India alone. We have space now for hundreds of children there. What is that worth to you? You know, she sat there, what was it, 2 or 3 days And by the grace of God, we were the ones that were able to get her out of that poverty and take her in. And now she's leading worship at one of our 4 churches there in India. Think about what would have happened if we would not have been the ones to get her. What if one of these predators, what if one of these sex traffickers, they would have gotten a hold of her? Her life would be totally different. But thankfully, somebody said, Terry, we're going to help you. We'll support you. What's that worth to you? This part of our ministry, it takes thousands of dollars every month, but it's worth it when you hear the testimonies. If you have prayed like I prayed years ago, Lord, we want to reach people where they need it the most. I believe God has answered your prayer. Whether you can give $1,000, $10,000, $100, or $10, I cannot overemphasize this. Every gift is so valuable. This video, it may only get 300, 400, 500 views. Do you know if every person watching just went to our website right now, terrytripp.com, and just gave $15, $20, that would go so far if just each one of us would decide, I want to make a difference. I want to be a part in helping people in Alabama, Nevada, South Carolina, India. Help provide food, clothing, education, help rescue and renew precious lives, victims, slaves, out of this horrific darkness. If we don't rise up and do it, it's only going to get worse. So you can go to terrytripp.com right now, go to our Give page, and you can designate it where you want it to go, whether it's into India or Rescue and Renew right here in America. If you want to give by credit card, you can go there. Or if you're giving out of country, we have a place set up on our website, on our Give page, where if you're out of the country, you can give through that. You can give through PayPal. If you would rather call our office, speak to Lisa, you can call 615-260-4689. If you're a pastor, may I invite you, encourage you this Sunday, receive a special outreach offering and connect with us. Whatever you designate for Rescue and Renew, it will stay in that area to help rescue and renew these precious lives out of this horrific darkness. I cannot do this alone. I very rarely come like this and ask for money. I was at a church recently, and a dear lady, precious lady, came up to me afterward and said, Terry, you've been coming to this church for 15 years. You've never asked for money until this morning. You're very passionate about this, aren't you? I said, oh, ma'am, yes, I am, because when you see hope come to one child, it becomes addictive, and I've got to reach as many as I can, and I can't do it alone. So I'm asking you, would you help us? I would never ask you to do something that Kim and we don't do. We give to this outreach. I invite you, if you want a place where you know your money is making a difference, this is it. This is it. Thank you for your support. Thank you for helping us make a difference.